Danielle said that from the friends across the pond, we're unlikely to see too many more today. So we can probably get started on a small meeting, and then everyone can go back to getting ready for the holidays. So, for those of us that are here, welcome to another working group forum. Feel free to add any topics you want to discuss on the notes, the meeting notes, and we'll get rolling with it. So the first topic is sometime back, there was an issue with the controller workloads tests hanging and becoming an issue with the Golang version 1.21. something. And so we pinned back the version to 1.20. I locally ran the 1.21.5 version of Golang, and it worked fine. So I opened a PR to update that to stable, and it looks like as long as you have write access to the repo, so the branch is in the repo instead of a fork, it will actually run the workflow changes as part of the PR process rather than running the main repo workflow with the whatever PR you're opening. So it appears to be working. We didn't want to just go ahead and merge that without seeing if there are any concerns.
Well, the thing is that we never realized what was the root cause of this. But as long as it works, maybe it's all right.
Yeah, I don't know what the root.
Maybe it would be nice to know why that used to happen, but it doesn't anymore.
Yeah, it just kind of appeared, and then when I got around to checking it with the newest Golang, it seemed to be fine. So
if we see tests getting stuck, we can always revert the change again.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would suggest that you carry on with merging it. In the meanwhile, Georgi reverted your change in Kurifi CI because that hindered periodics and stuff and so on. So you would probably have to revert the revert.
Fair enough. Cool. All right, yeah. We'll probably merge that, and then we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. So it looks like the next topic is the gateway API. Should we start implementing it? Question mark.
Yeah, so the proposal has been around for like a week. And me and Georgi are wondering, provided that we did not get any negative feedback or anything controversial really, what do you think if we started working on it? I mean, can we think that the proposal is accepted?
I don't see any roadblocks. I think it's probably reasonable.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
In terms of execution, we were thinking about first expose just the API using the gateway API, but preserve the old contour objects for workloads. This is possible with contour. It has this forgot what was the name of the mode for contour, but it supports both gateway API and contour objects. And then once we have that working, we switch the CF root controller to reconcile gateway API objects instead of contour objects. And then the third point we're not really sure about and are really tempted to just do nothing is to what do we do with contour objects that are already created. Once we implement the switch to the gateway API, various controllers both from Contour and Kurifi are going to reconcile existing CF roots to the new gateway API objects, and they're going to be working correctly. But the problem is, what do we do with the existing HTTP proxies? They don't seem to be causing any issues besides that they just exist there and are sort of junk left behind. That junk is going to be removed once you either delete the root or you delete the space, which is not a very frequent event. But we're wondering whether it's worth to implement some sort of a migration, or maybe just provide one kubectl one-liner in our release docs to clean up those resources.
Given I don't think people are going to be switching back and forth very often.
Yeah.
It's probably reasonable just to have a like cleanup command with documentation to say, hey, if you want to migrate, then just run this command after you've completed that.
That
well, it
command
would be
is not going to be necessary. It's just needed if you want to clean up.
Yeah. So I don't think we need to write a bunch of logic to sort of like automatically heal the system, so to speak. I'm happy to hear other opinions, but if we have documented it and we have an easy command for them for people to run to do that, then that should be sufficient in my opinion. Dave, any
That
thoughts?
sounds reasonable.
I mean, it feels like something that we can always add at a later time if a need arises. We don't have to do it immediately.
Yep.
But if users come and say, "Oh, hey, you've made this change and it's great, but I've got 1,000 orphaned HTTP proxies that I've now got to clean up," then we can always add something that says, "Oh, okay, well, if you're running in gateway API mode and it's successfully reconciled, so all the new routes and everything else are set up, we can go and find everything owned by the CF root that's an HTTP proxy and delete it as part of the reconciler." But we can do that if the need arises. I don't think it's something we have to do immediately.
Do you think that we should even document it in the release notes? Or we can just skip that?
I think it's worth documenting that the change is happening. I don't know that we have to go to the lengths of explaining how to clean up. Hopefully that would be relatively self-evident. But it's always something we can add if folks ask for it.
Yeah. I mean, it could be as simple as if we do want to document something, say, hey, we're implementing this. If you want to switch over, make sure to clean up your HTTP proxies. Or, if you want to. So,
right.
Yeah, I think we should probably err on the side of being aware of it, but not creating a bunch of tooling and whatnot or detailed explanation that is probably unneeded. Cool. I'm not seeing any other topics popping up, but if you have any other thoughts on this, feel free to speak up. If not, cool. Well, quick and to the point. Got some answers. Thank you very much. And unless there are last minute topics, we'll probably see y'all in about 2 weeks. Awesome. Thank you for joining us today.
Bye.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Alrighty. Ta-ta.
All right.